Iraq's parliament moments ago, voting to end the presence of all foreign forces in the country. Their outgoing prime minister saying that it would be, quote, the best option to establish a strong relationship with America and other nations. Meanwhile, the White House this weekend formally notifying Congress about the strike that took out Iran's top military commander, Soleimani. Joining me right now is Republican Senator Lindsey Graham. He is the chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee, member of the Foreign Relations Committee as well. And, sir, it is good to see you this morning. Thanks very much for joining me.
Good morning.
Your reaction, Senator, to this latest vote coming out of Iran to remove all foreign, Iraq rather, to remove all foreign troops?
Well, it's a bit concerning. I hope all the Iranians would leave, but here's the point. The Iranian government is trying to basically take over Iraq's political system. Iran is bribing Iraqi politicians. To the Iraqi people, do not allow your politicians to turn Iraq into a proxy of Iran. I got to read the details of this resolution. But here's what I think would serve the world well. If President Trump laid out what he wants Iran to do to relieve sanctions. I think this has been done before, but now's the time for the president to tell the world what we would like Iran to do to get back to a normal relationship. And here's my belief. It's not unreasonable. We would like them to stop being the largest state sponsor of terrorism, stop dismembering the Mideast, stop building rockets and missiles that could destroy the region and eventually the United States, stop being so provocative. So I wish the president would tell the Iranians, here's exactly what you need to do for the sanctions to be lifted, and allow them to make a decision based on a way forward that's good for them and the region, and see what they would do.
I mean, Senator, the president keeps saying, and Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, that they don't necessarily want regime change. But can you really do the things that you're talking about, change behaviors without a regime change? And how do you establish a regime change without an actual invasion?
Well, nobody's going to invade Iran. You don't need one American soldier on the ground to achieve what I'm trying to achieve. Everybody wants the regime to change. You'd have to be crazy to want it to stay the same. It's the largest state sponsor of terrorism. It threatens the existence of Israel. It supports Hezbollah with rockets and missiles to destroy Israel. They've got American blood on their hands, Iraqi blood, Syrian blood. You know, everybody wants them to change. But here's what's missing. What would it take for them to change? What kind of change do we want? Lay it out. Let the world know that we're reasonable. And if they don't accept the offer to change, then you know you've got very limited choices when it comes to Iran. I don't think they'll change. I hope the the Iranian people will take their government back from the Ayatollah is the ultimate change.
But, I mean, you know, the process of taking this guy down, I mean, it's been a decade where he has been deemed a terrorist and nothing was done. The fact that he was taken out on a road, Route Irish, where I'm told by military people that there's a lot of blood on that road. There were Iranian IEDs on that road, which killed servicemen and leadership in this country. Yes. So tell me what you think about the significance of taking him down where he was taken down in Iraq near the Baghdad airport.
Well, President Trump has really changed the equation here. For the first time in my lifetime, the Iranians are worried about the Americans. Used to be that we were worried about the Iranians exclusively. Now I think they don't know what to do with Donald Trump. The fact that we killed this guy on Route Irish is a big deal. I've been on that road in up-armored vehicles as a reservist. It's a very dangerous place. It was a target of opportunity for Iranian-backed militias against Americans. So he met his death on a road that had been used to kill Americans. So here's the point. Maximum pressure campaign against Iran is working. Their economy is in the toilet. Obama tried to get them to change by giving them a bunch of money and a new nuclear deal. That didn't work. Trump is trying to get them to change through a maximum pressure campaign. What have we learned in the last 48 hours? The maximum pressure campaign has a military component. If the Iranians hit American targets and American interests and American allies, we will respond militarily. If they hit us again, then I would not would not want to be working in an Iranian oil field, because I think the president is determined to bring this regime to its knees if they continue to be provocative.
Yeah, I mean, when the president said those 52 targets, you got to believe that one of them or some of them are oil facilities for sure. Look, we've got a lot to get to with you. I want to talk about this upcoming Senate impeachment trial, but let me just end this conversation on this. There's a lot of pushback this morning against the administration for this move coming from critics. You've got everybody from Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, I read her tweet earlier, to the secretary, to Colin Kaepernick, Senator. Kaepernick writes, there is nothing new about American terrorist attacks against black and brown people for the expansion of American imperialism. Your response?
Yeah, he's a loser on and off the field. He has no idea what the Iranian regime has done to the region. He has no idea that they have 600 American deaths as a result of IEDs made in Iran used in Iraq. It's un-American. He's a racist. If you're looking for racism in America, Mr. Kaepernick, look in the mirror. Your country's not the problem. It's the Iranians, and you're so blinded by your hatred of Trump that you can't see the difference between who we are and who the Ayatollah is. Pretty sad.
So you don't believe Congress should have been spoken to first before this strike? The president was obviously responding to attacks, but what's your take in terms of Congress?
Well, I've been a military lawyer for 33 years. These troops are in the field at the direction of the commander-in-chief with the support of the Congress. You do not need congressional authorization to defend troops in the field in harm's way. AOC doesn't know anything about the law of armed conflict, obviously. Every commander-in-chief has the right to defend our people on the battlefield. It was clear to me that this was a defensive strike, that Mr. Soleimani was planning additional attacks against American interest. In AOC's world, I guess we're supposed to sit back and watch a bunch of Americans get killed. We're not the bad guys. The Iranians are the bad guys. And if you don't see that, you've missed a lot in the last 40 years.